So my great grandfather came from the Isle of Lewis, um, and I was up there at one point, and I read something about the beasts of Holm, which is there's like a rock formation under the water in the Stornoway Harbor, and I saw the name and I was like, oh, put that in a song, thanks. And then I read this, sorry. Then I read the story of it and was like, oh, I guess I will put that in a song. It was the Isle Air was a ship bringing back soldiers from France after the war, all that had survived the war, and then on their way home, the ship hit the rocks in the harbor and sank within view of this city, and pretty much everyone died. And it was the second biggest maritime disaster since the Titanic sinking. So, Merry Halloween again. This is called Those Mighty Beasts of Holm. In the year 1918, when the war came tumbling down, all the men that were spared were home to Scotland bound. The foaming shores of France all churned, lay there washed in red. Oh, the mauled and the maimed on a namely ship instead. Across the channel wide into the north she sailed. Oh, a sea of fire couldn't slow her down, nor could the strongest gale. She sailed away from Kyle of Lochash on the last day of the year, filled with all the eager boys. She was Lewis bound to steer. The sails were full on the Isle Air as an eagle spreads its wings. She cut across the Minch's deep, feeling rich as any king. But as the lights of the harbor came as a beacon in the night, oh, the waves they crashed and the sea it roared, they saw a dreadful sight. Captain cried out an awful noise, a name they've heard before. Then a sound came thundering like death knocking at your door. Below the waves all but sleeping still, for nowhere did they roam. They'd laid in wait some crooked fate, those mighty beasts of Holm. 100 weary sailors swam, they saw their home the last. Their leather boots were like cannonballs, they pulled and tugged them down. And who the war had spared, the sea had claimed them now. Well, all the island mothers walked and calmed the windy shores, and the sons washed up one by one in twos and threes and fours. The masthead stood out 100 yards like a branch up toward the sky, and the last tree out on Lewis stood a tall and sad goodbye. Below the waves, all but sleeping still, for nowhere did they roam. They laid in wait some crooked fate, those mighty beasts of home. They laid in wait some crooked fate, those mighty beasts of home. Thank you so much.